my name is Noel Hooban. I'm MD of ProspectBase Ireland, and I've been living and working in Portlaois for 20 years. Laois has been brilliant for us. There's lots of supports, you know, in terms of the connectivity and infrastructure that's here is really good. You also have a lot of support from, depending on what stage of a company you're at. If you're a smaller company, there's different supports for you with, you know, local enterprise offices, and then you've got Enterprise Ireland and the IDA. So there's lots of, you know, business supports here for companies that are looking to, you know, to set up camp here or start here. But also on top of that, you have access to a great talent pool. You've access to really good talent here. That's first and foremost. So a lot of people obviously would, you know, they would get, you know, degree educations or they get their qualifications. There's lots of experience, but they find that they have to travel to the cities in the past. Now COVID has changed that a little bit, but there's really, you know, strong candidates here. So when we open roles, the CVs we get are, you know, really good. So it's just a case of, you know, for people, I think they're looking for that work-life balance. Now COVID did give them that to a certain extent, but they don't want to be travelling to Dublin, don't want to be travelling to Cork, even if that's 1 or 2 days a week. They'd prefer, if they're based around here, is, you know, the quality of life is much better for them. So so we've never had any issue fulfilling roles and kind of getting access to talent. You know, it's very expensive in the cities, whereas here you wouldn't have that cost for them. That's very attractive for them. But then obviously you've got other people that, you know, might want to raise families and stuff like that, and they're able to do that in places like, you know, Portlaois or Laois. Living in Laois is fantastic. I used to, you know, work and live in London, and it's just a slower pace of life. You've access to everything. Everything's kind of close and convenient, but it's a big town too, so you've access to a lot of the services that you need. But I guess it's the kind of slower pace, but you still have access to it's that rural urban mix. You still have access to everything you need basically, but the quality of life is the big one there. It's much easier in terms of commutes for them getting home, you know, all their outside activities, outside of work, whatever they want to do. You know, it's much more difficult to do that in, you know, if they're kind of commuting up and down to Dublin. And then obviously it's the cost factor when you're in Dublin. Now it's all relative, I guess, in the cities compared to the towns, but that's all, you've access to all the services that you'd need. And then the staff is a big one. You'll get access to really good talent pool. Again, you're not only accessing Laois, it's all the neighbouring counties and kind of surrounding the Midlands. The infrastructure and location is massively attractive. You've got, you know, the business parks here, and you've got the agency support here, and you've got the staff support here. So there's, you know, in terms of setting up, is, you know, it's as good as you can get really.